From the St. Lawrence River to the Styrian Hills, welcome along to the Breakout Racing League Tier 2 Championship for Round 8 and the Austrian Grand Prix. It is the 34th Austrian Grand Prix and the 15th time here at the Red Bull Ring in Spielberg. 6 out of the 14 Austrian Grand Prix winners have started from pole position. And I said we were in the Styrian Hills. Only 32% of the Austrian Grand Prix and the entire country of Austria is located below 1,600 feet. The 2.68-mile circuit, the 4.32 kilometer, has 10 corners, 3 to the left and 7 to the right, 3 DRS straights, and plenty of overtaking opportunities in turn 1, 3, and 4. And with the elevation change of 63.5 meters, traction and braking, for that matter, will be a more difficult task than it was a week ago at Canada if it stays dry. The C4, C3, and C2 tires will be used for tonight's race. The C4 being the soft, C3 medium, and C2 being the hards. We're going to see a lot of drivers using that soft and possibly the hard compound tire for tonight's race. With only 9 races to go after the championship fight is pretty much looking to be on. Ritzy still the championship leader. He is not here today. But the Mercedes of Luis is on his charge with winning 3 out of the 3 races he's participated in, with now only 9 points away from the Alfa Romeo ahead. The Canadian Zeno behind him after a good race a week ago, and his teammate Bobina is 3 and 4 in the championship. DXD is behind him. Let's see how the Racing Point does. Once again, single-handed in his fight against McLaren and the constructors. Behind DXD Shigo is going to be Facetas, followed by Sweller, Furcho, Unsighted, and Killer is the top 10. In the constructors fight is McLaren, Racing Point, like I stated, by 18. That is the gap between the top 2, followed by Mercedes, Alfa Romeo, Red Bull, Renault, AlphaTauri, Williams, and Haas, with Ferrari rounding out the grid. I'm joined by Tier 3 driver Echo. Echo, by the way, you've already had an experience around here at Austria with your race last night. What do you think separates the winners from just the points finishers here today that these Tier 2 drivers need to do?
Well, my experience was a little sketchy. I got caught up in some incidents, but what separates the winners from the points, people are just going for points, is just how they manage their tires, how much longer they're willing to go on these tires. So some of the guys on stalls at the start of the Tier 3 race actually went further than you expect on the soft compound tires. So the stuff could actually go a good distance, like almost halfway towards this race, and then end off in medium. So a one-stop strategy could work if people just conserve their tires enough. But we'll have to see. Some people like to fight. Some people are just really risky on their tires. So you don't always have the same like saving for everyone. So yeah,
well,
we'll just
like
have to
you
see.
said, the tire strategy, that's going to be quite, sorry to cut you off, by the way, that's going to be quite the interesting indeed, because you see some drivers can save tires. They could go from the soft to the medium, but some drivers cannot, like myself included, actually. And a lot of diversity in the realistic performance race and through Tier 4 and 3. We're probably going to see the same thing here. We're going to see drivers go on to the medium on the second stint and some on to the hard. So we've already started off on the medium. That is Xenokid with provisional pole, a 4.4 on the mediums, with Skeppy going provisional pole now. That is a 3.6. Unsighted Port, he goes even faster. And the other Alfa, the Alfa Romeo this time, with a 3.41. That is going to be DXD up into P2, a 3.56 for the Racing Point. And the Mercedes of Luis, he's made it 3 for 3. He's now on provisional pole, a 3.263 for the Mercedes driver. Can he make it 4 out of 4 in the races he started in?
Look like what I just said. They're already setting times on softs. And I'm actually expecting a 102 because somebody in Tier 3 said 102. So I'm definitely expecting Tier 2 to be that time. I think it was a 102.8, 102.7, something like that.
Well, I know a lot of drivers could possibly get into the 102s. One I think I'm actually thinking of right now is definitely going to be the Mercedes of Luis, and maybe even the likes of Zeno, who we've seen some strong qualifyings from him. Ginger goes a 3.481. He puts his Mercedes into P3, and we're on board with Bobina going through turn 4 and now into the traction zone down the DRS straight. Coming through, that is going to be everyone coming into the pits going through the final sector. I believe that is going to be Tazanik, and the penultimate corner now going to the final corner. Actually, it's not. It is... I was mistaken. It looks more red than the Alfa Romeo coloring. You know, it's kind of hard here, man. It's hard. It's just
kind of. Right now, I'm on with Smoking Ginger while you're doing that. Smoking Ginger is coming down to turn 5, going into turn 6, getting a little bit over the line, but is able to keep it clean, going to turn 7, coming out of turn 8. Nice and tight going through there, but I think he might be pitting this round. He's going a little too much to the inside, so yeah. Yeah, he's going to be pitting. Okay, never mind.
Well,
never mind.
As we were pretty much saying before, I was going to say some of the McLarens, like Zeno, could have possibly gotten in the 102s. Well, one McLaren is almost there. Zaspobina provisional pole. That's a 3.019, only 19 1,000ths of a second off of the 102. So we could possibly see a lot of drivers going to the 102s. Austria is quite a competitive track for a lot of guys, but you got to be wary of the track limits, especially through turn 1. That is going to be a difficult track limit part, either in the entry. You can actually grab a 3-second time penalty all in one swoop. Entry, apex, and exit. Turn 4 could possibly grab a penalty if you're not careful in the exit of the curb. Turn 5, you can go a little bit too wide. Turn 6, you can run a little bit too far onto the curbing. Into turn 7. Into turn 8, you could also do the same. Turn 9, you can run wide. Turn 10, you can run wide. There's just a lot of places you can run wide and grab a time penalty or an invalidation on your lap. You just got to be careful. That is Sweller actually going up into P3, a 3.331 for the Alpha Tauri driver. Puts himself ahead of his teammate unsighted. Going through, who else has set a lap? I saw someone else put a lap in.
I'm not sure. There goes Feta. He actually just renewed his gold membership. Funny story, Feta actually just ran out of gold before this race started, so now he's back. He must have ran over to Walgreens, those long legs of his. It might be a corner store for him, but he's able to get back here in time for the race. So congrats, Feta. You have made it for the race, man. But as you said, Austria is a really competitive track. You get a lot of dark horses you've not seen so far in the season. So you can see somebody that's like mainly in the midfield or the backfield, and they be up into the fight out of nowhere for a potential podium or a win. So Austria is really up for grabs for anybody. The track always seems to be so tight, so compressed when it comes to Austria, the Red Bull Ring.
It's kind of funny that you mentioned Feta's Xbox Live Gold incident. It's kind of, I say that because around a season ago, maybe a couple rounds hit or miss, we actually had another scene. Ironically, he's gonna hate me for bringing this up. It's Ritzy. Going into Holland, he ran out of gold. So thankfully for Feta, he's able to grab it and get into the race. So he will be the 14th driver on the grid. That is quite a showing from. Was it a week ago? Was it 12?
I think it was a week ago.
It was about 12 or so from Canada.
Yeah. Not sure. That's a little
around. I was on board with that. He keeps it out of the barriers just through turn 3. I told you about the elevation change, and traction's going to be a lot more difficult than you usually would think. Zaizu proved my point there, spinning around turn 3, thankfully avoiding the barrier. Tazanic has gone for a banker. He's now on a flyer in the Ferrari. He had a good finish in Canada a week ago. He's going to try to finish and continue that streak now here in Styria. Going through turn 8 into 9, a little bit careful not to go too much on the curve. He avoids the invalidation there. Now into 9 and 10. This is definitely a point where you can see a lot of warnings or invalidations. A little bit too wide to the apex, but keeps it valid through 10. His first lap was a 21.1. He now improves that lap to a 3.8. Underneath BRL Skeppy, about 0.2 or so adrift, almost to the millisecond. Well, if that was... He keep that... Wow. I don't know if you saw that exiting turn 1. That was the most. I've never seen it. Wow, how is that valid? I'm kind of speechless from that. So.
I'm not too sure myself. Actually have no words for that, but I'm on the board with Zaizu, who's also on a flyer lap, and he just loses the back end and lost some time. Never mind. Zaizu's really not having any fun with that uphill in turn 2. He's not having no fun at all.
Well, this is interesting here, because I think Feta may be on... Yeah, he's on an out lap. He has the joining late glitch from there because of the... It doesn't say he's on a flyer lap. Let's go cut to Zaizu. You said he lost a bit of time. Obviously, he spun through. That's a validation. That's not going to help his cause. About half the session left to go. In qualifying, he still has some more time for to get a run in. Vircho is also on a lap. He has not set one yet. He's going through 2 into 3 now, the braking zone for the Red Bull. The Red Bull at the Red Bull ring is quite a home Grand Prix almost, could you say. We'll see if Vircho can probably capitalize on, I guess you could say, the quote-unquote virtual support from the fans and see if he can get the Red Bull on the podium, if not a Grand Prix win.
Speaking of misfortunes, Zaizu is the guy of misfortune. He has a disconnect invalidation, so he'll definitely be looking to come in this lap to get new fresh exhaust compound tires, because I think he's already done 2 laps, or those back tires are just cooked because he keeps losing the back end on that uphill in turn 2.
Going through 9 into 10, I talked about how Vircho wants a good showing for the Red Bull in the Red Bull ring. He's P13, has not set a valid lap. Now he does, P4. That is a 3.273 for the Red Bull driver. Puts him ahead of Zeno in the McLaren, who actually set a lap, I believe, not too long ago. Now up to a 3.3, and that is Feta, a 3.157. Definitely showing that he could have definitely taken advantage of his misfortune, and now he's probably trying to fight back. A little bit on the back foot, but he's still in it regardless. Hopefully that isn't to screw him over, because there's the I don't know if they fixed, did they patch that glitch yet, where if you join in late, you actually start at the back no matter where you qualify?
I believe so, because I've done that in another league, and I actually was able to qualify, and I was able to stay where I qualified in. So I think it's patched, but don't quote me on that, because some people still end up having that glitch for some odd reason. So yeah.
Let's hope for his sake that it isn't. Let's cut through. About 5 minutes left to go. Some guys will probably still be on their flying lap. I believe Ginger may be on one at the moment. He has a little bit low ERS, so he may not. It looks like he's kind of taking a little bit easier. Yes, he is. So everyone's pretty much gone for the softs, except for Facetas down in 12th at the moment. He's done a 4.3 on the mediums. Zaizu's done quite a considerable amount of laps on his softs, so I mean, if you're trying to make that one-stop work, it's just got to be done. I think he's just trying to get some laps in, if I'm honest. That was unfortunate that I caught that.
Yeah, I think he expected nobody to see that one.
Oh!
And Zaizu's off and into the wall. He's not having any luck.
Get out of it. Just has front wing damage. And look, whenever that car snapped, I saw flashbacks of qualifying a season ago from myself in the Renault, where I snapped the same part, and pretty much I think took myself out of the qualifying session. So thankfully, Zaizu is luckier than I was and continues on. He still has a chance to go set a valid time. About 5 minutes or so left in the session, about 4.5 to be more specific. His teammate Killer has not set a lap yet. He's going through the pit exit, trying to take it nice and cautious. This is probably going to be his last chance to get a lap in. Everyone else in the top 4 is in the pit lane. Luis is out on a flyer pretty soon. He's on an out lap right now. He's going through into turn 4, so we'll see what he can do. I think Feta may be on an in lap. Actually, I think they're giving each other the racing points.
Zaizu's off track again.
Is he?
Yep.
I mean, he has no front wing. He's probably trying to avoid any blocking. But yep, like I suspected, the racing points, a little bit of strategy. Some slipstreaming through the exit of turn 1 and the exit of turn 3 on DXC Ishigo's flyer lap. Let's see if that's going to help him out. He's at a 3.4, and if he does get the lap valid and continues to improve, that's a 2. That's the McLaren of Zeno, a 2.848.
McLaren's just showing out.
For McLaren right now.
McLaren's just showing out. Can the racing points respond to the McLaren's 1-2? Can Ichigo get a good exit? No, he goes wide. Oh.
That was going to be a 3-2. That would have put him around unsighted and Luis. That's unfortunate. And he got this in next as well. So Feta will be looking to try to go and improve. He's not going to grab the slipstream from his teammate, I don't think. Yeah, he's a little bit too far back.
Well, Ichigo needs to hurry up and get back to the pits, but he's losing the back end on the car. I think the setup on Ichigo's car is not really agreeing with it, as Ichigo is not looking to try to get back as quickly as he can. He lets his teammate by, but he has 2 minutes and 50 seconds to get to the garage and get a new pair of tires and go right back out, which is not a lot of time.
I don't think he's going to have enough time.
I mean...
Speaking of not enough time, I think that's going to be it. Luis made a mistake on an invalidation and went a little bit too deep into the exit of 8. Went into the gravel, into the grass, and is now in the pit lane. That may be it for the Mercedes driver. Fercho still has a shot. He's on a flyer lap. I believe behind him is that the racing point of DXT. Actually, it's a yellow flag in both sectors with the racing points. Fercho goes through turn 9. That's an invalidation.
The Renaults are not having any luck with this track. Both of the Renaults are struggling to get a time up.
Someone who isn't struggling to get a time up, I just missed this. Feta, he gone to a 2.895. Mercedes goes to a 3.116. Times are starting to heat up.
People are going to start coming out the pit soon. Nah, I can see people coming out the pits. Ichigo's able to get in.
That is Skeppy coming out.
Yep.
Killer is going up to turn 3. He's on a flyer. We'll see if he can finally get a valid lap.
Ginger's about to start a lap.
Him and his teammate.
Ginger's also about to start a lap. Ritzy's in the chat. What's up, Ritzy? You should be able to join the race, but what's up, man?
He's in not the same state.
Oh.
Taking a vacation for that 18th birthday, am I right? Happy birthday, my friend.
Happy birthday, Ritzy.
Or old happy birthday, should I say. Or post late. You know what? English is hard. I'm just going to go back to watching Ginger through turn 3. Actually, speaking of watching, we are now partnered with Twitch. That's Twitch. Twitch again. So if you do like the content you are seeing here at the Breakout Racing League Twitch channel, you can go and follow us with Twitch Prime. I did it again. I'm just going to stop. And if you do like the thing as well, consider following and checking out our social media, YouTube, Twitch, and Instagram to see all action for the Breakout Racing League.
Honestly, I think we should, for next stream, I think we should have a, you know how we have a border at the top of the screen for the BRL? We should have a blue border at the bottom as well for our social medias.
Yeah, I'll go and suggest that. That is Ginger up into P4, a 3 flat for him. He's in the front of Facetas. He's not going to have enough time. He's in the pit lane. Unsighted Port. He's on an outlap. Luis has gone. He didn't have enough time. Killer has retired in the pit lane, I believe. Yes, he has. Luis is on a flyer. Fercho is on an outlap. He keeps it valid to the final corner. Sweller, he's going to go. Zaizu also could not get a valid lap in. The Renaults will start 13th and 14th. Sweller coming to the line. He keeps it valid. Scappy is invalid, so this is going to be his qualifying over. Tazonic is retired from the session, also in the pit lane. He's going to be P12. P11 for Ichigo. He's not going to have enough time. He didn't make it to the flag. He's P11. Like I said, Skeppy's P10. We're going to look at the top runners. Sweller, Fercho, Luis. Unsighted Port going up to turn 3. Facetas is out of qualifying. Ginger, I think, is done as well. Yes, he is. Bobina did not make it to the flag. Unless it's a... It may be a glitch, but Zeno is keep going as well. Actually, I don't know if he made it to the flag or not.
I think Zeno actually made it.
I think Zeno did, but Bobina didn't, but he's still on a line. No, he's invalid anyway.
Invalid. But Luis goes up
Luis
to
goes
P3.
P3.
Luis being the sleeper going up to P3.
Oh, now it's... okay, so apparently we were wrong.
Unsighted Port is coming around the final 2 corners. Can he get a good entrance and a good exit? Let's see. Oh, invalidated. Oh, a little too tight.
Next his teammate did too.
Next one is coming up. Zeno. Can Zeno extend this time? No, he cannot. He invalidates as well. And I think that's it.
I think it's it, because Bobina's out, unless Luis can go. No, he's in 0 ERS mode, so he's trying to nurse it back, it looks like. Yeah, it is. So, that will be another pole position for Xenokit. My God. What
in the world just happened? We have a problem in the front. Red flags, red flags.
So that is another pole position for Zeno. He was on pole 2 weeks ago in Baku. And now he will start from the front of the grid for round 8 here at Austria, followed by Feta in the Racing Point. So we have a McLaren Racing Point rivalry. 18 points is the gap between those two. Let's see who can get the most points coming out of here.
Virtual joins in the carnage.
Does he?
Here comes
Oh
the
my God, I just realized that.
and he was able to miss it. Oh, wow, the rain just hit. The rain, it just hit.
So, Fercho will be P3 on the second row of the grid alongside our championship leader if he scores points at all in this race. Pretty much 9 points is what he needs to take the championship lead, with Ritzy being out. P4 for Luis, and a good Mercedes qualifying. Bobina, P5 from a podium a week ago. Now we'll see what he can do going through in Austria. Got to keep the track limits and penalties down. He did it last week. Can he do it again? Ginger is P6 in the other Mercedes. Bobina is in a Mercedes sandwich. Facetas in P7. The AlphaTauris, 8-9 have Unsighted, then Sweller. Skeppy rounds out the top 10. Everyone will have to start on the compound tires that they qualified on if it stays dry. DXD Ishigo could not get a good valid lap in. He stays P11, a 3.4 for his time. Tazonic, he's P12, and both Renaults of Zaizu and Killer could not get a flying lap in and will not set a time in qualifying.
Italian 2, 3, and 4, by the way.
Is that actually?
Yeah.
You say Italian?
Mm-hmm.
You talking about their flags or the cars?
Flag.
That's Mexican.
What was Mexican?
Echo.
Was it? Really?
It's Mexican.
Oh, shit. I didn't see the little symbol in the middle. Oh, put that in the clips of derps. Put that in the clips. Put that in the commentary clips of fails. We should have a section for commentator fails, and that was a commentator
Commentary fails of the week.
That was a commentator
no.
fail. Oh my god.
Oh no.
Did I really make that mistake?
Well. Oh no. Well, like I said, they had to start on the tires they qualified on. If it's dry, it looks dry for now. Is it going to be dry for the whole race? We'll have to figure that one out. So, like we said, Zeno will be on pole ahead of Feta, ahead of Fercho, ahead of Luis, ahead of Bobina, Ginger, Facetas, both AlphaTauris of Unsighted Port, and Sweller, and Skeppy running out the top 10. That means DXD, Zonic, Zaizu, and Killer all have free choice attire. DXD right now choosing the soft, medium for Tazonic, and Zaizu and Killer has bolted on the hards.
Ooh, Killer on the hard, going for the old Taylor strategy. Yes, we have officially made it the Taylor strategy.
The Taylor strategy. That is now patented.
It's trademarked.
No other commentator
copyrighted. Trailer has all. That's a trailer. Taylor has all claims.
So
to
we
that
have
strat.
Trich. We have Trich. We have a mistaking of Italian and Mexican, and now we have trailer. Oh, this is getting a little bit too good. We talk about the Austrian Grand Prix as being a driver's favorite track because it's quite close. Well, apparently it's going to be their driver's favorite track for multiple reasons because you get to watch us idiots up in the booth because apparently we don't know what we're doing. 36 laps around the Austrian Grand Prix here. We're going to see who can grab the positions indeed in the championship that are needed. So Feta does actually get to start from P2. No issues from there. 14 drivers, 36 laps, 10 corners, and a lot of overtaking zones. 5 heavy braking zones that you can use for overtaking to turn 1, turn 3, turn 4. And you could also make a move in the second and third sector, but you have to be very, very daring indeed. We'll see will the McLaren keep up their dominance in the couple of last races of the constructors. Will Racing Point finally fight back? Fercho, P3 in the Red Bull Ring. What can he do ahead of the Austrian and Red Bull fans? Luis, pretty much 3 out of 3. Can he make it 4 out of 4 of the races he started in? Bobina, P5. Can he try to keep up the momentum from the podium a week ago? Ginger needs to get a good redemption race after Canada. Unsighted and Sweller both need a good redemption race after Canada. Skeppy does definitely. DXD needs a great race. Tazonic, Zaizu, and Killer around the grid with... Now we're having DXD go up to his grid slot on 11th as we start the countdown for the Austrian Grand Prix. The lights are on.
On board for
It's 5 red lights. And it's lights out, and oh, no, we're not.
Oh.
Wait, let's try again. It's lights out and away we go. So we had the better second time, but look who had a better start. That is the McLaren of Zeno. He's already ahead of the Racing Point by a mile. Vircho, he goes in down the inside. That's Luis on Bobina. He's going to struggle for position through turn 1. Inside of the Mercedes. DXT goes and up past Ginger. Skeppy down to P10. Sweller loses a couple positions to Sonic. P12. Zaizu and Killer up in 13 and 14. That is going to be same up through the pack. The Alpha Tauri of Unsighted is going to fight for Bobina for the battle for 6th. Going down, it is now going to be Bobina ahead of Unsighted, Facetas ahead of DXT, Ginger ahead of Skeppy, Sweller ahead of Sonic, and the Renaults are still 13 and 14. Sweller and Skeppy are still fighting down into turn 4. The Alfa Romeo down the inside of the Alpha Tauri, and the Alfa Romeo gets the position up into P10 in the points paying positions.
Kudos to our camera people for that camera angle into turn 2. That was beautiful. I'm sorry. I just had to stop and admire that for a second. But Virgil, like you said, is up into P3. Fetta's sliding in right behind Zeno. He's looking like he's going to get a good season. Well, a good race out of this. As he's had a bad start to the season since joining Tier 2. So hopefully we can see a lot more out of Fetta in this race. This is one of his strongest tracks, so we'll see. Oh, we got a little bit of a cut. Mercedes almost lost the back end, but that's let Ichi go to the left side of him. Is he going to get the overtake done? He brings on an overtake, and he gets it done. Ichi goes up into P7. But Mercedes is not giving up. He's down the inside in turn 2. He has to give it up. He does not have the traction coming out the corner. It's an uphill battle. Ichigo keeps P7.
Well, one thing is, indeed, many drivers of the real-life Formula 1 circuit have always said that Austria is nothing but straights and DRS zones, so that's going to cause a lot of drivers to be stuck in a DRS train, a drag reduction system. If you're within a second of the car in front, the little drag reduction system in the rear wing, the little flap, will go up, and you will have a little bit more straight line speed and less drag, so that will keep you in tow with the car in front. If you can stay with that car in front, you'll grab an extra horsepower, extra speed, and a lot more people around you than if you were by yourself.
It's
Who
Fetta.
is that? That is Fetta!
Oh.
You were saying that he needed some good points, and he had a shot to do it, and a mistake off into the exit of turn 9 is put him bound in 14th. Skeppy grabs a 3-second time penalty. We said penalties are going to be massive here. Skeppy's the first one on the board.
And it's only 3 laps into the race. Skeppy already picks up his first 3-second time penalty. So it's not going to be good, but he looks like he's going to be more aggressive as he goes down the inside of Ginger, keeping it side by side with Ginger. Alfa Romeo versus Mercedes. Alfa Romeo is going to have the traction and the DRS to get past Ginger. Skeppy is up into P8. Oh, but we got contact in the back. Swallow gets contact with Ginger and goes right into the wall.
Really unfortunate for the AlphaTauri. I don't think he has wing damage. If he does, it's slight. But he stays ahead in P13 of the Racing Point of Fetta. He's now on the back of the Renault, who's in front on the hard compound tire. He's going to have a little bit of a disadvantage at the moment because the hards are the slower tire, but they degrade the less. Zeno's pulled out in front about a 8/10 gap, but the Red Bull Fercho is in the DRS zone. Mercedes grabs the fastest lap right now. A 6.4 is him. The gap between Fercho's Bobina is 1.3 seconds. Now the train starts behind him. Luis with Unsighted, with DXT, with Facetas. There's a little bit of a gap, about 1.1 seconds to Skeppy. Then you have Smoking Ginger and Tazanic and Zaizu, and there's a little bit of a second gap. Then you have Killer, Sweller, and then a 1.5 gap to Fetta. But down into turn 4, you're going to see a lot of overtaking spots. We could have an opportunity at a braking zone here, not from Bobina, Luis, or Sweller, or any of the guys in the top 10.
Killer.
Yes, he does indeed. Sweller gets past Killer in the Renault for 13th.
Killer had a tank slapper, but he was able to catch the car. Skeppy is trying to make grounds. This is basically a DRS train, honestly. And that's what's most frustrating about league races around Austria. As Luis picks up a 3-second time penalty, that's not going to help out for in his race. But like I was saying, this DRS train around Austria is not really helping these guys. It may be people's favorite track, but it's like the worst track for league racing. Because nobody can really get out of these DRS openings. It's not easy.
Well, no, it is not easy at all. You can ask the McLaren of Xeno Kid if that is going to be the case here. Is it going to be easy to escape the arrest? Well, pretty much first show is going to pretty much slap that in your face and say, no, it's not. He's at 7/10, now 8, now 9 because of the traction zone. Bobina's gained a slight bit with Feta overtaking Killer, going down up into P13.
Luis look like he's going down the inside. No, he's not. He's going to tuck it right behind Bobina. It looked like he was about to make a dive bomb down the inside of Bobina, but he decides better of it. My bad for cutting you off.
Speaking
but that was
of
crazy.
Luis,
Oof.
it was crazy indeed. He's trying to think of it because he has a 3-second time penalty. Speaking of Luis, by the way, though, he's 3 for 3. Well, a week ago, he was penalty free. Now he has the 3-second time penalty. So he's no guarantee with Luis here in P4 at the moment.
You got the menu up, by the way. You're not using it. It's cutting off the screen.
What is cutting off?
The menu, the spectator menu.
That?
Yeah, you got it open. There you go.
I usually have it open. Anyway, going up with Fercho and Zeno. Here we go through the DRS zone. Pulls to the right-hand side. The Red Bull going to go down the inside of the McLaren down into turn 3. He's not going to have the move done yet. He's going to have a little bit of an advantage for the DRS straight. Zeno gets ahead of the traction zone. The Red Bull's going to have more DRS. He's going to go to the left-hand side, go the long way around through turn 4. Late on the brakes for the Red Bull. Can he go around the outside? He's going to make it. Done? Yes, he does. Fercho now goes up into P1. He's not done yet. Zeno's going to try to look for it, and we'll have the yield position going into turn 6.
Right behind him, Bobina's having a little bit of action himself. He has a little bit of pressure from Luis, who's looking for an opportunity to get past Bobina. Bobina is not making any options available that easy, but is giving a little bit of slivers here and there, and is allowing Luis to just say, hey, you mess up, you give a little space, I am right here to pounce on you. Scabby does pick up another 3-second time penalty, so he's now up to 6 seconds. And we also have some little straight line speeding back here in the train. These guys are not getting away from each other, but I can see Luis trying to go again after Bobini. He's moving up to the left side, but in the front, we got Fercho and Zeno side by side in the same corner. Zeno this time gets Fercho back and is moving up to P1. Bobina's able to keep Luis behind. Luis moves, he loses out to Unsighted. Unsighted moves up to P4. Oh, but then Ichigo goes down the inside of Luis, gets a good exit, a good entrance, and is able to move up to P5.
A lot of moves have been making. We saw a couple.
Oh, we got
done.
another
Fennec is
move.
past.
Mercedes should make a move on Luis.
Luis has been really getting caught on the back foot. He was P4 a second ago. Now, after about a lap or so, he's now down to 6th with pressure from Facetas. Up front, though, it's not done. Fercho is not that far away from Zeno. It's going to be almost a DRS train with these two, swapping every time they get the chance, going from the run up into turn 3. DRS now for the Red Bull this time, like it was 2 laps ago. Zeno is now the one that is going to be a sitting duck on the straight. The Red Bull pulls out to the right-hand side once more. Down the inside, he's going to be clear of him in the braking zone, but Zeno late on the brakes, and the Red Bull will get back in front of the McLaren. But Zeno's not done yet. He'll grab the DRS. He's going to get a little bit of a traction zone advantage on the button. Now off the button, goes to the right-hand side. Down the inside, looking for turn 4. The McLaren, can he get another contact between the two banging wheels? But they're still side-by-side exiting turn 4. Now through 5, now into 6, still side-by-side. The McLaren on the outside has to give way. He's not going to be done yet. He's still going down. Side-by-side once more into turn 7. Contact made again. They're still going wheel to wheel. Down to turn 8, now up to turn 9. They're still side-by-side.
These two are not giving any inches to each other. They're really fighting tooth and nail for this hot spot. They want P1, and Fercho gets a 3-second time penalty, and Zeno goes into the wall. Zeno is a little bit into the wall. Oh, he loses out to Bobina and Ichigo. Unsighted Port moves up into P2 after overtaking Bobina into the second DRS zone. Oh my God. Ooh, man,
he's not done that, though. Unsighted is going to try to go for the move.
Unsighted is going to be wanting Fercho now. Unsighted has the DRS. He has the ERS. Is he going to make a move on Fercho? Yes, indeed, he do. He will be making a move on Fercho. He's going to go down the inside of turn 3. And he's going to take P1 from Fercho, but Fercho's trying to fight him back. No, the AlphaTauri, the junior team, will take P1 from Fercho.
Wow. What a shocking 2 laps it was for racing. We have quite a shake-up now. Instead of having a does.
Oh, man. Oh, we got somebody on. This is Skeppy. Skeppy's off. Wing damage
I don't
to
think
the
he
right
has
side.
front wing damage, does he? Yes, he does indeed. The Alfa Romeo is not having a good race so far like it was a week ago. Skeppy just not been having the best of seasons indeed. Zeno goes into the box. Like I said, it's been a complete amazing race for the last 3 laps. We have a complete shakeup of the grid. Unsighted now is your race leader from Zeno, who was supposed to be there. Now he is in P13, pitted on the hards. Vircho still P2, Bobina still P3. DXD's now P4. Luis Beckham to 5th, still being hounded by Facetas in 6th. 7th is Ginger, but he's being hounded by the Ferrari, who has a medium compound tire on, by the way. Tazonic. Tazonic's going to try to see if he can try to do either a reverse strategy of soft or a medium to soft, or trying to go from a medium to hard strategy, depending on how it works. Feta has worked himself all the way up back to the points, and P9 for the Racing Point, who not too long ago spun off from P2. Sweller's now P10, with Zaizu P11, Killer P12 with time penalty. Zeno, like we said, has boxed for the hards. He's P13. Skeppy also boxed for the hards. He's P14. Bobina now has a 3-second time penalty.
Oh, man, Bobina picking up 3-second time penalty. That's not what he needs, but he has Ichigo right on the back, hounding him, making sure he does not make any mistakes. Bobina needs a good exit. He does not get a good exit. Ichigo gets a good exit. He's on the DRS. Is he going to activate the ERS to try to get past Bobina? No, he will not. He will conserve his ERS for the next straight, but he's going to pull down to the inside. Is he going to make a dive? No, but he does stick his nose in there. They're going to be side by side for this next straight. Ichigo does keep DRS, and they tap a little bit. Bobina goes off into the grass and loses out to both Luis and Ichigo. And Facetas is going to be right behind Bobina looking for an overtake. Facetas goes down the inside. That's a sketchy dive bomb, but no, Bobina sees him and is able to cut him off a little bit. The McLaren and Williams are going to go side by side. Bobina's able to keep P5.
Well, we said Austria is going to be great racing. Indeed, it's a lot of the drivers' favorite tracks, and so far, it's been ours. We've had one heck of a race so far, and we're only 1/3 into it. Lap 11 of 36, still about 25 laps to go here at Austria, and we're not done yet. We have DRS trains being ready, moves being done, and passes to be had. We have the pit window now open from lap 14 to 16 for the one-stop strategy if you want the medium compounded tire. Who will be the drivers that take that gamble for the end of the race on the C3 tires, the balanced race spec tires, which are balanced in both tire wear and performance? Let's see who can dive into the pits for them.
Swaller is looking on the back of Feta. Feta is looking like he's losing ground, so it might be a move up for P9. The other AlphaTauri is trying to make some moves now. Lewis is back in. I don't think he's going to get it on this next straight. But we're moving on to the front. Unsighted points already pulled 1.8 seconds on Vircho, so Vircho's out of DRS, so he won't be able to defend from Ichigo too much longer. Oh man! But then Ichigo has Luis behind him, so Unsighted means so Vircho might actually get sucked up by Ichigo and Luis at the same time.
Looks like he will. It looks like that Vircho may have used up his stuff, quote unquote. As actually, Luis is going to go down to the box. Yes, he is.
Oh, we got a yellow! We got a yellow! That's Feta!
Feta and Killer. That is no right side front wing for the Racing Point. It's just not been his day. He's already had a spin off of the exit of turn 9, and now he has yet another unfortunate mistake there. Luis is boxed on for the hard, same with, along with Zeno, who was fighting up in the front as well with Skeppy. Now Feta is going to go also. It looks like he's going to go to the hards, possibly, unless he's going to try to get the stretch for the mediums.
He changes the front wing as well. So he does indeed have front wing damage. So a front wing change and putting on the hard compound tires. Feta's trying to go into the race with no time penalties at the moment, but he is long ways off from the leader.
Speaking of the leaders, we had the undercut. Could possibly be powerful here. You just got to play your cards right. Luis, he pitted a lap prior. He will be the only one to pit in the top runners as of late. Killer still needs to box, but he's on the hards. He'll do it later. Same with Zaizu and Dazonic on the mediums. Those two drivers will probably go looking for a soft for their final stint. Look for them to be quick. But these guys up front, 1.7 to Furcho and Unsighted, but Unsighted is now being, actually, I'm sorry, Furcho is now being a little bit hounded in the last couple of corners from DXD, but has finally gotten that gap up to about 7/10 going into turn 3. Zaizu and Sweller makes a move.
Easy move before the braking zone. Zaizu makes quick work for Sweller. Sweller couldn't do nothing about that. But in front, we have Tezonic and Ginger. Tezonic makes an easy move on Ginger. Those soft compound tires might be going away and the mediums might be kicking in because Tezonic has started making his move. He is starting to be on the prowl of these soft compound tires. Beta is picking up the 3-second time penalty, and he is DNF'd. Beta has retired in pits.
So that is definitely going to be a shame for him because Racing Point needs those points. From one Racing Point's misfortune, though, is still counted by one Racing Point's podium chances. That's Furcho in the box, Bobina in the box, and Facetas in the box. 3 of the front runners now boxing. It is open for the, he has been held up? Or is that a glitch? He's on the mediums regardless. It's a yellow flag, actually. Wait. Oh, that's
that's Fetta's car.
Okay, never mind. It kind of scared me for a second. So, with this being had, now Tezonic's up into P3. Obviously, he still has to make a stop. He's on those mediums. Ginger's behind him, with Zaizu behind him. Killer behind him in P6 right now for the Renault. The Renault's right now holding pretty strong, 5 and 6, as the I think it's probably going to be the leading constructor with both cars in the points. It's going to be close between those two and the Mercedes. Right now, they're in a Mercedes sandwich with Renault filling. Obina's up to P8, Facetas to P9. Zeno is now under pressure. He's actually jumped Furcho. So he has been held up. Furcho has had a colossal error in the pits. And like Red Bull has done many times, like I can think of multiple occasions where they weren't ready. Now they've been even worse.
It looks like Unsighted has went into the pits, and Ichigo has went into the pits as well. I was going to say the sauce can actually go as far as the mediums can go, to be honest, because Tier 3 has done the same thing where the soft compound tires has pitted at the same time as the medium compound tires. And it was still up in front of the medium. So, yeah, we can probably see that happening, but Bovina's able to catch up and jump Ichigo. They're still fighting coming out of the pits. Ichigo might go for a dive. No, he does not. He tucks it out behind Bobina, thinking better of it, and is going to get the DRS in the next zone. He goes down to the left side and is easily overtaking Bobina for P7.
I'd like to point out, by the way, with all the shuffle up with the pit stops, your provisional P1 leader right now is Luis, with Unsighted P2, with DXD P3.
Right.
Quite the shakeup from when the race started.
But we got to fight again between Furcho and Zeno. Furcho and Zeno battling for P10, the last points position. These two are going at each other tooth and nail again in that second DRS zone, but it looks like Furcho has won the better of it. And somebody has picked up at the same time, and I don't know who it was.
I believe it may have been, not actually sure.
Oh, well.
Let's actually go take a look at the penalties. As Furcho grabs the fastest lap right now on lap 17 with a 6.299. So the fastest laps, or the penalties, I'm sorry, everyone has a 3 except for Skeppy who has 9 and Killer who has 9. Everyone else who doesn't have penalties, you would see their box on the screen. Bobina and DXD will fight down into the exit of turn 3. Skeppy grabs a 3-second time penalty as well. You have DXD to the right-hand side of Bobina and passed up and through to P7 once again, trying to go chase after Unsighted, in P6. Furcho, speaking of him, is trying to make a move with Facetas. He's now under pressure from the Williams, and the Williams, a little bit of contact going into turn 6. More contact, and there he goes. Save it. He saves it.
Beautiful save by Furcho. Beautiful save. It looked like Facetas was hooked onto Furcho.
It was. That's what I thought. Facetas may have actually been him, being sucked on like that. May have actually turned Furcho fully around. So Ginger, like I said, is in the box. He's going to go on to the medium compounded tires. Let's see what that will put him in the race. He's right now
dispose of Furcho. We need this Facetas.
Yes, he has. Zeno's now up to P9. There's a little bit of a trade happening with Zeno, Facetas, and Fercho. Bobina is going to be the car in front of the other McLaren in P7, still trying to fight after the racing point of DC Ishigo in P6, 3 seconds adrift of Unsighted, who's actually caught the back with DRS as Facetas and Zeno are battling through in turn 3 it is. But Unsighted has caught the back with the DRS zone of Luis, so he has to wait for a DRS straight, either through the final corner onto turn 1, or from turn 1 to turn 3, or from turn 3 to turn 4 to try to make an overtake on the Mercedes driver. Luis is now under pressure.
Yeah, Luis is under pressure. For Unsighted, looks like a man on a mission right now. He has tried to dethrone Luis from his perfect attendance, perfect record right now in Tier 2 ever since Luis has started Tier 2. Unsighted has DRS. He's going to try to make the most of it. He's not using any ERS. He's saving every little bit he can, but he does have ERS advantage over Luis at the moment with 70%, while Luis is struggling with 30%. So we can see Unsighted being right on the back of him pretty soon. Virgil picks up another 3-second time penalty, and he's on the back of Facetas. He's looking to go on the left side. Facetas going to the right side. Virgil, they tap a little bit, but Virgil's able to keep it. But Facetas goes down the inside. He's going to keep it there. But then Sweller is going to make another move on Virgil as well. So Virgil loses out to P10 of Sweller Street.
Oh, look now, Sweller's looking down the inside almost. Look at oh wow, we're on the outside almost. That was late on the brakes from Red Bull of Fercho, trying to get past Sweller and get the position back. Nothing can be done there, but right now, Unsighted and Luis are both catching the Renault of Killer for the top fight. As Tazonic is still out front with Zaizu both on the medium compounded tire. As Facetas has been given a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. That means the only drivers who have not had a time penalty infraction to their race time to be applied will be Sweller, Unsighted, both AlphaTauris having a comeback race and penalty-wise compared to a week ago in Canada, where they had about 12 and 15 respectively. Zaizu and Tazonic all do not have time penalties with about 17 or so laps to go. So the guys in the top 3 positions and the podium positions at the moment still need to come into the box. They have 19 laps on their compounded tire, and they still need to make their mandatory stop. That means this is pretty much the battle for the lead, and it's going to be a big, big fight in the championship-wise for Unsighted, and a lot of points to his name. He goes to the left-hand side, around the outside of turn 4 with the medium tires for the AlphaTauri. He's going to get the better traction through turn 4, now to turn 5, now into turn 6. Luis is going to stay in front of the AlphaTauri, but he's going to keep his wing in there and his nose there. Now side by side once more into turn 7, and he's going to get the move done. Unsighted now up into provisional P1 and P4. Luis behind him.
Unsighted is doing the AlphaTauri justice right now, showing everybody what he can do. Zaizu, well, Tazonic is going to go into the pits. He's going to be the first ones did not pit. He's going to be the first ones to pit right now. Where he's going to come out, right now he's at P3, move down to P5. He puts on the soft compound tires. He's going to be coming out in P11. Possibly P12 with Smokey Ginger right there.
So now these guys still have to go chase down both Renaults of Zaizu and Killer, and they're going to try to go see if they can make that soft for the second stint work, like Tazonic is doing for the Ferrari. Sweller gets past Facetas for the battle for 8th, but the battle for provisional P1 is kind of slacking off. Unsighted's mediums a little bit too much for the Mercedes of Luis. Down in turn 4, we see Fercho and Facetas. Could we possibly see a move down the inside of the Red Bull? Yes, we can. Get a move. There we go. And a little bit of contact off the track. Now that's Facetas in the gravel.
Ooh, we might see that in Stewart's. I think that was a little bit of shove for him. Could be a racing incident.
Front wing damage.
Front wing damage? Oh, he does have
front wing damage. No left or no right front end plate, so that would be from the contact from Fercho. So that's probably going to be seen a look.
Zaizu
and that is Zaizu.
Oh, no.
That will be applied to the end of his race time for speeding in the pit lane. So now he needs to get a 5-second gap or so from the car in behind him at the end of the Grand Prix to avoid getting that time added to it. So another driver who's coming to the pits is Facetas. He's actually going to go fix his front wing and possibly rally up a steward's infraction charge and report against the Red Bull driver of Fercho. Sweller looking for it. He's now behind the rear wing of the McLaren of Zeno. Going down into turn 3, now up to turn 4, the run to turn 4 with DRS, goes to the left-hand side of the McLaren, And he's going to go around the outside and turn 4,
that's
but it looks like it's
tight
way
move.
too easy.
That was a tight move around the outside. That was a little bit sketchy, but he was able to make it through with no scratches. And Unsighted is chasing down Killer like it's nothing right now. Killer really needs to box soon. Will he box soon, actually? Yes, he will. And Unsighted will be moving up into P1.
Killer, that's unlucky, mate. You have to abide by the pit entry lines.
Oh, what did he do?
So I know one person will watch the stream, they'll clip that, and I know that person's going to be Skeppy. So, unfortunately, Killer, you may see a infraction coming your way. Luis, though, is still trying to find a way to kind of... I mean, I think at this point, I think he's more so riding behind Unsighted than he is trying to overtake him, trying to get the DRS, the extra speed, and try to pull away from the racing point of DXD Ishigo, who still have not pulled away from the McLaren of Bobina. If you would have told me that the racing point that is leading a McLaren was DXD and Bobina from lap 1, I would have told you you would be incorrect, because Zeno and Fata both looked like they were the stronger of the two teammates. But unfortunately, both of them had mistakes, and in the race has just not planned out to par. Luis has got that's going to hurt him in his battle with DXD. Let's go look at the penalties. Actually, that'll probably be the best thing to do at the moment. 6 seconds to Luis with 3 seconds to DXD. That means the gap between P2 and P3 is only 0.4 of a second. So could we possibly see a challenge from?
We have a yellow.
That is Furcho out of the race.
Oh, we have
that's not in the pits. That's on track. And Killer's off. I think I just
safety
saw.
car.
That is
safety car. We have a safety car.
In Spain, not in Spain, in Holland, in Canada, and a lot of other races. We have a late race safety car.
Was a contender for the race win, but unfortunately ends up DNFing from the Austria Grand Prix. I'm pretty sure we're going to hear some words about that in Discord chat.
Wow.
Skeppy has 15 seconds of penalties, but I don't know. He's able to get right back in this race. He could probably pick up some points there. Maybe. Not sure.
Possibly, but you know, this safety car has helped a few and really hurt some others. Unsighted has no time penalties. That's Luis. He's going to go dive into the pit lane, possibly put on some softs. That is going to help the Mercedes driver, but he needs his 6 seconds, though.
Unsighted
stays out. Unsighted does stay out, but I don't think it's going to matter as much. His mediums look pretty good. Sweller, that is abysmal line into the pit lane. I'm sorry for that, but that's
I think DXD and Unsighted should have pitted. The sauce can last this many laps. I think they should have pitted.
Yeah, everyone's going to be on the softs except for those two drivers.
Yeah, they should have pitted. I don't think those 8 laps of mediums will hold up. Tensonic on 3 laps. Luis, who's a charging bull. We all know this on fresh softs. So, yeah, this is going to be a battle for P1.
Well, we have 3 drivers
challenge.
stayed out with Tazonic, DXD, Shigo, and Unsighted. Tazonic and Unsighted both do not have time penalties. DXD does, but so does a lot of the field. Luis has fresh tires, but he has a 6 second. Killer has fresh tires, but he has a 3 second. Actually, does he have? Let's go look at the penalties, actually. That'd probably be better. Luis has 6 seconds. Killer has 12. Bobina has 3. Sweller does not have any. Zeno has 3. Facetus has 6. Ginger has 3. Skeppy has 15. Zaizu is going to get a second chance. He has 0. So we're going to see a lot of
Unsighted
a lot of chaos.
Pit. I'm dead serious. I don't care if it's like track position. They should pit. There's no way they're going to be able to fight these new fresh soft compound tires, and they do not pit. Whew, that's going to be a battle for those
Well, it
two.
looks like DXD was going to pit, but it looks like he was trying to fake out maybe Tazonic behind. But he stays out. So we'll have probably around 9 or 10 laps to go.
Which is easy for the soft compound tires.
It will be easy. Yeah, that is almost the first stint. That's less than a first stint, actually.
Yeah, that's why I said they should have pitted.
Softs.
That's why I said they should have pitted. At least give some kind of fight. Because right now, it's not looking too good for these top 2.
We'll see. There's still a lot of laps left.
If they're able to defend for their lives, then I can see, yes, they can do it, but it's a fresh sauce. And these are tier 2. Bobina, Luis, Swaller, Killer, Zeno. I'm just naming a few. They're quick demons on fresh sauce. So, yeah, I don't know about this.
Well, looks like everyone has actually caught up to the safety car, and that means the safety car is in this lap. So the reins now go from Bert Mylander and the Mercedes safety car to unsighted port in the Alpha Tauri. So we'll have around 10 laps to go in the Austrian Grand Prix for round 8 of the Tier 2 Championship. There's a lot to play for.
A lot riding
Obviously,
on the side and port, getting a good exit.
Oh, yeah. Make sure you get your tires warmed up. Make sure do not collide with the driver in front of you. And to make sure... Oh, okay.
Oh, they thought he left. They thought he went. And now he goes. But Ichigo is right on the back of him. Ichigo did not fall for the fake. He is right on the back of the unsighted port. Down the inside. No, he does not. He thinks better of it. He would not get DRS this lap. Ichigo gets a little bit of tech slapper. And that's letting Tectonic right behind him get a little bit closer, but unsighted port is able to pull off to get 5 attempts on the second straight. Here comes the third straight. Is Ichigo getting a better exit this time? No, he does not. Unsighted port pulls out 8 attempts, 9 attempts, and he got Tectonics going down the inside of Ichigo. On the soft compound tires, 5 laps. Oh, Tectonic is going to move up into P2, but Ichigo's still going to try to fight him. He does not. He's not able to fight him. He got Luis going down the inside of Ichigo. Is still side by side between these two. And Luis gets tapped, and he's around. He hits Killer. And Killer goes back into the. Oh my God! Thank you, Codemasters, for ghosting. Because I promise you, that would have been a lot of cars going out of this race just now.
Well, thankfully, neither driver are out of the Grand Prix, but they probably are pretty much out of contention for points. So back under racing again, we have Unsighted leaving Tectonic by about a second, leading DXD by about a second, to Bobina, to Facetas, to Skeppy, to Zeno, to Ginger. Speaking of Skeppy, he's got another 3-second time penalty. Zaizu in 9th, but looks like Zeno may try to look for a move on the Alfa Romeo of Skeppy ahead, but he's not close enough.
Yo, no, he's close. He's buying his time. He's close.
We actually could see a move from him now. I'm actually going to go.
Smoking Ginger just lost out to both Sweller and Zaizu at the same time.
Going through, keep an eye on Tectonic now, because he has a buffer to the cars behind, like Bobina, Facetas, and the rest of them. And he has the newer softs and the faster tire compared to Unsighted. We could possibly see Tectonic snatch this one. He snatched a decent amount of races in Tier 2. I believe one that comes to mind is Singapore. So we could possibly see another Grand Prix victor in the mix. We have Luis.
A different one, actually.
Actually, it's just Luis, Zeno, and that's the only 2 active ones.
How is that not a penalty? I saw that, Tectonic. My man,
he's known
clearly
for keeping his nose clean, but Bobina goes past the racing point of DXD, so much for that buffer. Killer's been given a 3-second time penalty. Facetas almost goes to the back of the racing point after a little bit a sketchy move under braking for the racing point. Poor traction for the Williams behind. Now the DRS is activated, so now we tie Tectonic down around the outside, I think, and actually through up into P1. So Tectonic from inside, now Bobina 1.4 seconds back. Now he has a buffer once again, Tectonic does. Now Bobina is now trying to pull away. He has 0.5 of a second to DXD, but those mediums are not going to be enough for the softs around him. Facetas has one of the oldest tires on the grid for the softs other than the Ferrari of Tectonic, and that is almost a move, thinking about it, trying to go and find and poke his opponent.
Really being antsy right now, looking for a move.
Yes, he is. He's trying to figure out his opponent, where he's weak, where he's strong, and trying to give a little bit of pressure.
Skeppy going down the inside of Facetas. Is he trying to keep it there? Yes, he does. Skeppy's trying to keep it there. He gets a little tap from Facetas. The Skeppy's around into the wall. I think Skeppy should have thought better of that one. I think that was a racing incident.
Well, at the moment, he still has points, and Killer's been given another 3-second time penalty. He is still under pressure from Luis in the Mercedes. He grabs the fastest lap, speaking of Luis. So, who will dare to grab that fastest lap from him? Tazonic from Unsighted, now 4/10 of a second. Bobina is now within a second of Unsighted in front. Bobina could possibly be on the charge. Facetas. Oh!
It's a little close between the Williams and the McLaren. They're fighting once again. Is Zeno going to try to go down the inside? Please don't do it. Oh! He gets a little gap. He's going to go for it. There goes Zeno with DRS. He does not have any ERS though. There he is. Oh my gosh. These guys have used all their ERS.
Going now into, he's almost pushing the
He's
Williams.
pushing Facetas up. He's pushing. Oh my god. That's a little close.
He's down the inside trying to look for it, doesn't get the move done. Facetas is going to be on the back of the Racing Point of Ishigodo, going into turn 4. He's not going to have it close enough unless he's late on the brakes. He's with the ERS, with the DRS. He's going to go defensive to the inside, and Facetas around the outside in the Williams. Can he try to make it work? A little bit of squeezing, a little bit of contact. Facetas will have to go second hand to the Racing Point once more. Now, Facetas is now being under pressure from Zeno. Zeno's trying to see if he can find to make a move, because if Facetas doesn't pass DXD, Zeno's going to pass Facetas.
This is why I said DXD Ichigo should have pitted and Unsighted Port should have pitted, because these soft compound
he's down the
tires
inside
are fighting, and Zeno is pushing Facetas. Facetas gets contact with Zeno, and Zeno's around.
Oh no, not again.
In the same corner, Zeno goes around once again.
Wait, we'll go from one McLaren to the other one. I'm having a stroke. Bobina is almost around the outside now of the AlphaTauri. Contact being made, almost a collision. Bobina's been given a 3-second time penalty, but that I think will probably be removed, as he had to go off the track to avoid a collision with Unsighted moving under braking. Unsighted now has the DRS of Tazonic in front. Bobina is going to try to look for the inside. He's going to make a move down the inside, squeezes the McLaren to the apex. He's going to get better traction. On the grass again. No space being given from the AlphaTauri to the McLaren. Unsighted does not want Bobina to get ahead of him.
Yeah, Unsighted really does not want Bobina to get in front of him. Unsighted needs to stay with Tazonic as much as he can, and he's throwing out all the elbows against Bobina. He does not want Bobina to get any momentum, but Bobina is looking for all the momentum as Tazonic picks up a 3-second time penalty. Now Unsighted
now it's
really needs to keep Bobina at bay.
Well, now he's not going to be able to.
He might be thinking better of it because both of these guys have penalties. He might be throwing elbows because Tazonic didn't have no penalty. But now that he does, Unsighted Port has slotted down into P3, letting Bobina by. He said, okay, you want to fight so badly, go fight. And Skeppy has retired. A virtual safety car is out.
Where is Skeppy retired?
I don't know. His car's gone.
He's gone to Narnia, folks. He's gone.
Like, yeah, his car is literally gone.
Alcatraz. Boom, he's gone.
His car is literally gone. Where is it?
He's been snapped out of existence. That's where he's gone.
He got Thanos.
Well, with the VSC, he got Thanos snapped. Well, we possibly could see a stewards report remove that 3-second time penalty from Bobina. Remember the race director, guys.
Somebody say he retired outside of turn 4.
I'm glad someone else caught it.
Thank you, Max.
So Tazonic now leads Bobina from Unsighted from DXD, from Facetas, from Sweller, from Zaizu, Ginger, Zeno, Killer, and Luis. We lost Skeppy, Fercho, and Feta all in the Grand Prix. We'll now have little less than 3 laps remaining. Tazonic could possibly pull away with this if he keeps that gap. Bobina could try to get the penalty removed. Unsighted has none. Well, we'll see how it goes. We have 3 to go in the race.
Oh, Sweller looks like he could be getting an easy top 5 because of these guys having penalties in front of him. So I can see both AlphaTauris getting strong amount of points for their constructors' titles, hopes to be alive. But man,
well,
that 3-second time penalty for Tazonic is really gonna hurt him. I think he was really looking for this one.
There's still enough time. Dzonic needs to try to pull that gap away. Bobina is just clawing at it now. He needs to try to pull away from inside it as fast as he possibly can to keep out the DRS zone from the AlphaTauri, get out of the DRS distance, try to go and get the penalty removed by the stewards without much issue. But in case it's not, he needs to get out of the gap as much as he possibly can. But he needs to chase down Dzonic first. He now isn't within DRS range of Dzonic, but Unsighted is not of him. So Unsighted has lost the DRS to the top two. We're now with 2 to go here at Austria for round 8 of the Breakout Racing League Tier 2 Championship. It's going to be a fight between the Ferrari of Dzonic and the McLaren of Bobina down up through turn 2, into turn 3. Is it a possibly move going? He looks to the right-hand side. He's going to go down the inside. No, he's not. He bides his time. He knows it's not worth forcing. Dzonic gets a little bit weary on the traction. That's going to probably open the door for the McLaren, of Bobina down the inside, possibly through turn 4. Dzonic does not defend down the inside.
Dzonic
Up and through.
Dzonic tried to pull a switchback, but he's not able to get it done. So Bobina's up into P1.
Well, a week ago, it was a podium for the McLaren. Well, he now has a podium again, but can it be the win? As we go now on to through turn 9 and 10, we're now going to go on to the final lap of the Grand Prix here at Austria in the Red Bull Ring. We have Bobina ahead of Dzonic, ahead of Unsighted Port. That is your top 3 at the moment. The gap to leader, that's what we need to see. The gap between Bobina and Unsighted is 2.2 seconds. We need a last lap Lando effect to have his penalty not be applied in terms for Unsighted. For Dzonic, it may be too little too late. Through turn 3 for the final time of the McLaren, we need an easy and smooth braking zone. That's what he got. It's 8 tenths, 9 tenths. The Ferrari just does not have the grip to combat with Bobina's McLaren and the fresher soft compound tires. Down into turn 4 for the final time with the Ferrari of Dzonic. You see the gap between Bobina's and Unsighted is 2.7. Killer's been given another 3-second time penalty going through the middle sector. It's close between Unsighted and Bobina. That's what you're looking at. 2.9. We possibly could see Bobina grab it. Well, it was quite the race indeed. We had a rain race last week. Well, now we had a completely dry race. But it's Austria. It's never completely straightforward. We had tons of overtaking, tons of action, and a completely new winner in Tier 2. Bobina will win the Austrian Grand Prix ahead of Dzonic, ahead of Unsighted.
Unsighted Port has moved up to P1 due to penalties. So Unsighted Port is your winner with Dzonic coming in second. Bobina coming in third. Sweller moves up into P4 with no penalties at all. He's able to jump Zaizu, Ichigo, and Mercedes to get up into the top 5. Zaizu finishes in P5 for Renault. Ichigo moves down to P6 for the Racing Point. Mercedes is going to come home for P7 for the Williams, and I think we got Smoking Ginger for P8. Zeno, we're going to move up to P8 for McLaren. Smoking Ginger P9, and I don't know who's last. Luis is on P10. Whew.
It was quite a hectic race indeed for Austria. We possibly could see the help of the stewards. We just got to see exactly. At the moment, this is unofficial. Unsighted Port on the top step of the podium. He had a podium back in Baku and had a race to forget at Canada. He's now redeemed himself. He's now on the top step and the winner of the Breakout Racing League Tier 2 Austrian Grand Prix for round 8. And what a great race it was indeed. Dzonic P2, Bobina P3. Dzonic grabs a podium indeed. That is what he needed. And a great rebound. And a great start for his Tier 2 campaign. Like I said, Unsighted leads Dzonic and Bobina, the podium centers, with Sweller and an AlphaTauri has got a great weekend indeed. We said we needed it. They got it. Zaizu P5, DXD recovers to P6, Mercedes P7, Ginger P8, Zeno from 1st to 9th. Not a great start. Luis had another same kind of weekend like Zeno had, but quite the different one from his standards. It's no longer going to be 4 out of 4. It's 3 out of 4. Luis grabs 1 point. And the fastest lap, so 2 points for him. Killer grabs P11 with Skeppy, Fercho, Feta, all being DNF'd from the Grand Prix.
Whew. That gave me a lot of excitement to talk about. I ain't gonna lie.
You guys read my blood pressure too much.
Oh man, we're gonna get to you inside it. We're gonna get to you. But let's get to P3. Bobina. From P5 to P3, you started in top 5, you finished in top 5. Tell us about your race, Bobina. Short for words. Well, no matter. You were still able to qualify in top 5, and you finished in top 5. So congratulations on the P3. And let's move on to P2. Starting from 15th? 13th? What was one of those? Tezana, what you started from?
No.
12.
He started at the top 10.
12?
12.
Okay. Well, starting from P12 and you finished at P2, tell us about your race and how you managed to pick up a P2 podium.
I think I got quite lucky, really. That safety car really played into my hands. I just started on the mediums just to get them out of the way, really, because I know I didn't have much pace on the mediums. I was quite lucky just sticking behind, I think it was Smoking Ginger, just sticking behind him, just saving my ERS. And just following up to the top lot. Yeah, I just tried to make the mediums go as long as I could, but my tyre wear wasn't great on them. So, pitted around, as late as I could, which was around lap 20, 21. The safety car obviously really helped because I jumped to a load of positions as everyone pitted, and I was able to save my tyres a little bit. Otherwise, I definitely would not have made it to the end. Yeah, I was really going for that win. I just fortunately got a penalty. I made one mistake on like that 32, 33 something. I picked up like 3 warnings in 2 corners, and that just sort of ended it. But I still gave it my all, and good job to One-Sided and Bobina for their podiums as well.
Yep, good. Congratulations for P2. Would you like to say anything in your native language, though?
Anything in my what?
Native language.
Don't worry about it. He's something else.
I mean, hey, they do it in real life. They let you talk in your native language.
Yeah, let's go to an Englishman and say, "What's your native language?"
English.
All right. I didn't know. I'm just asking because he had a different flag. Okay, sheesh. I didn't know what the flag. I didn't know what flag that was. But moving on.
Bruh. Bruh.
I didn't know what flag
First
that
it was the Italian and Mexican scandal.
All
apparently,
right.
in
No.
qualifying. Now you don't know what the English flag is?
We're moving on. Unsighted
Oh,
points.
Go to geography class.
Unsighted. We're moving on to Unsighted. Congratulations to P1. You kept your nose clean, getting no penalties compared to the rest of the grid. You started from P8, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep, P8.
Okay, you started from P8 and went all the way up 7 positions into P1. Tell us about your race and how you managed to pull it off.
Alright, well, I had a really good lap 1. I almost gained 3 positions. I was up to P6. I just had pretty good pace. Setup was on point. It was just oversteery enough. I kept the tires alive. When I pit, they were at 80%. So that was interesting. But yeah, kept my nose clean, made it to the end, and I'm hyped.
Strong words, but a lot of energy when he came into the party, though. But congratulations. I think Unsighted is our newest winner for Tier 2.
Yep,
Patrick?
first win.
Yep. So congratulations again, Unsighted, for being our newest winner in Tier 2. And that is your podium commentary from Echo. Would Catcher like to say any final words?
Well, I completely was snoozing and I kept Sonic's car up for Unsighted, so there you go. Anyway, once again, I said earlier in the stream, hopefully I don't mess this up this time. Breakout Racing League is affiliated with Twitch now, so if you do like what you saw today for Tier 2, go ahead and drop a follow for us on Twitch, and consider subscribing with Twitch Prime, and go check us out on Instagram, on Twitter, and on YouTube at Breakout Racing League. For us, though, we're going to be it for the Tier 2 track in the championship, I should say. God, I'm just slowly dying. But Breakout Racing League isn't done. 30 minutes time about. We have the Tier 1 championship at Austria for round 8. We could see the likes of Hoop, of Chandler, of Perandi, of B-Dunk, of Formula, etc. You can name it. You'll
Catcher,
see
yours
those
truly
guys
as well.
go up. I'm not quick. I don't put my name on that list, sir. But yeah, I am there. But but they will see around their race around Austria and the Red Bull Ring. But Breakout Racing League isn't done. Monday, tune in 7 and 9 p.m. respectively Eastern Standard Time for Tier 5 and Tier 6. But for us in the Tier 2 Championship, myself, Hikatra, and Echo up in the booth, we are see you later and hasta la vista. Because Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Hasta la vista, baby.